Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. President Lee Jae-myung also called for strong practical measures in response to the recent leak of personal information by Kupang. Speaking at a cabinet meeting on Tuesday, President Lee urged relevant ministries to strengthen fines and make punitive damages more realistic, to root out the perception that personal data can be treated lightly. He ordered authorities to quickly determine the cause of the breach and mobilize all available tools to prevent secondary harm. Lee also noted that Wednesday marks 1 year since former President Yoon Suk-yeol declared martial law, adding that the government will award commendations to members of the public who played a key role in blocking the emergency decree. South Korean automobiles exported to the United States will now be subject to a 15% tariff, down from the 25% tariff implemented in April. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick announced on Monday that reduced tariffs will be applied retroactively to November 1st. This comes as First Vice Foreign Minister Baek Yoon-ju met with U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau on Monday in Washington, D.C., to work on carrying out those agreements. One key agenda item was the production of nuclear-powered submarines, which the U.S. gave the green light to, following the Lee-Trump summit in Gyeongju. During the meeting, Vice Minister Park urged his U.S. counterpart to swiftly begin discussions on civil uranium enrichment and spent nuclear fuel reprocessing by South Korea. On the economic front, South Korea's consumer prices rose 2.4% on-year in November, maintaining the same pace as the previous month. According to the Ministry of Data and Statistics on Tuesday, the Lifestyle Price Index, which tracks frequently purchased goods and services, climbed 2.9%. This marks the steepest increase in 1 year in 4 months, specifically since July of last year. The rise is largely attributed to the high exchange rate, which has visibly driven up costs for imported essentials, such as petroleum products and food. Petroleum prices jumped 5.9%, marking the highest rate of increase in 9 months since February. The government says it is remaining vigilant over the currency volatility and will respond swiftly to manage stable prices for citizens. In other news, South Korea's new multi-purpose satellite Arirang 7 has successfully made initial contact with a ground station after its launch from South America. The Korea Aerospace Administration says the satellite separated from the Vega C rocket, which lifted off at 2:21 a.m. Korea Standard Time from the Guyana Space Center in Kourou. It established first communication just over an hour later with the Troll Base Station in Antarctica. Officials confirmed that Arirang 7's solar panels deployed correctly and that all systems appear stable. They also said more detailed launch data will be released later on Tuesday, adding that 4 additional communication passes are needed before the mission is declared a success. In the United States, the White House released a memo on Monday, confirming that President Donald Trump underwent MRI scans of his heart and abdomen in October as part of what his doctor called a preventative executive-level physical. Trump's physician Sean Barbabella said the cardiovascular and abdominal imaging was perfectly normal, adding that the scans are meant for men in Trump's age group to detect issues early. The memo was released after Trump told reporters on Sunday that the MRI results were perfect. The White House said the scans were part of his routine physical at Walter Reed, though doctors note these types of MRIs are not standard in typical medical screenings. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.